Hey guys, Nicholas back with another video. We're going to talk about my week 7 training in the aerobic season. But also, this week, just yesterday, was my 5K race. So, the Ottawa Tamarack 5K race on the road. Lots of people, lots of my friends did really amazing things this past weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those people. So, first, we're going to talk about the past week and talk a little bit about the last week. Or at least start with the last week. I just finished filming last week's video where I was like super happy about it. I thought I was doing great things last week, but um, yeah, like we had 130K. Our workouts felt like super solid for like a lot of them. Um, and yeah, it just felt great. It felt like everything was clicking. And I took Monday off, and then because I also had a workout Tuesday. As you see, I only did one workout. The plan was to do two workouts, and here's my first workout. So I think the plan was to do 4 by 6 minutes with 2 minute rest, and the 2 minute rest. So normally, or I think the previous week I did 4 by 6 minutes with 90 seconds rest, and the rest was fairly fast. I wanted to really slow it down on this rest, and we did. And I got to three in, and and on the third one, I just felt like I really needed to take a step back with my pace. And then I just called it. I got maybe to like 3 minutes in or something. I was like, man, this is not good. I'll just back off the pace. I backed off the pace, and then I was like, hey, my legs, specifically my hamstrings. Now I'm not sure if this is. I was feeling it in both hamstrings, so I'm not 100% sure if this is like my hamstring injury. I mean, it's probably all related, but um, not sure if it was the hamstring injury I had in the winter. It felt a little different. Like I've just been feeling weak hamstrings for this past week, really. Pretty much since Monday, I've been feeling this. Maybe Sunday, maybe last Sunday. I'm not 100% sure when I started feeling this, but yeah, this workout like was not good. Did I rate it? Yeah, we rated it 3. So yeah, no, not a great. Anyways, Wednesday. Oh, we should actually pull the Wednesday one up. Uh, Training. So Wednesday, because I didn't have so I didn't go to the workout Thursday evening, but because Wednesday, I was like, hey, let me just try to pick it up a little bit. Just trying to see. So at one point I was like, hey, let me try to just do 3 minute pace, um, which is I wanted to do like a 15-minute 5K. And I was like, you know what? Let's just try to see how we can do. So I went off. When I checked my watch, I was like 255. I got like 200 or 300 meters in. Yeah, 5.2. Where is this? Like 5.3 something. I don't know. I got somewhere around 5.3. I felt like, and then I was like, no, this is way too fast. There's no way I can do this. And so after this Wednesday workout, I really started to lower my expectations for the week. Also, right after this, don't know if my heart rate shows, but after this, I started getting some of my atrial fibrillation. And I think this is like me just like putting a lot of pressure on myself. I think I was putting way too much pressure on myself, like mentally, going like into this race. And I kept trying to tell myself that I'm just doing this for fun. There's like no big deal. Um, there's one guy who I wanted to beat. Technically, I did end up beating him, but not in the way I wanted. Um, but Yeah, I was like really expecting this to be like a big race. Ever since he told me he was racing, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But um, I was just kind of like psyching myself out for this race. Oh, sorry, we spoiled it. Spoiled a little bit. But let's just get into the next one. The next one. So um, this is the Wednesday workout. Let's just pull up all of these. So I kept doing the same loop just because it has no hills, except for obviously where I live. And all of these were like just a lot faster. I just feel like so much smoother. Don't listen to the grade adjusted pace; it doesn't exist. Um, but my heart rate was like fairly. Well, I guess that's not that low. But considering like the time of day, and how fast I was going, I was like, this is like pretty solid. Like 4 minute pace at like 160 or something. Like this is below my first lactate turn point, I think. I'm guessing, and it felt like just really good. This pretty much same story. I was like, wow, I'm feeling pretty good. Now my hamstrings this whole time felt just like a little bit weak, and my legs started to get less tired over the week. Um, so even by I think Wednesday, uh, my by Wednesday, my legs were like pretty tired, and even Thursday, they were like just a little bit tired. But by Friday, my legs were like pretty much recovered in terms of tiredness from the week before. But part of me thinks that going into this race, doing 130K the week before a race is probably just not the best thing. Even if I'm taking like a lot of like time off, as you see, I only did like 53K this week. But let's just talk about the race. Actually, before we talk about the race, let's talk a little bit about the before the race. So before the race, it was kind of like hectic. Like I was trying to like meet up with people and all that stuff, and so the warm up wasn't ideal. I honestly should have just warmed up by myself. I wanted to warm up with one guy, but then like he was trying to find somebody, and then they're just trying to find a group, and like nobody knew where each other were. And then I end up finding these other people, and we ended up going on a little thing, and I didn't really get to do a full warm up. Uh, and then when we got to the line was like so packed, um, like the for the race, like getting to the front, it was like already packed like 20 minutes before. Um, and I squeezed into the front at like, well, close to the front. I was kind of like second row but sort of on the side, so kind of first row a little bit on the like 16 minutes to go. And it was like so packed, there was like no room to like do anything. Like you could barely like stretch or anything. And so I'm standing still for like 16 minutes. And then on top of that, there was like some issue because of like, the police said like not everyone was cleared or something like that. There's some issue going on. We don't know what happened, but we had to wait an extra 7 minutes. So I'm standing like on the line for 21 minutes. Then when we got like moved up to like the very front, I actually did end up like kind of squeezing my way to the front of the line. And then the last thing I'll say is that the guy who I mentioned earlier, there's this guy, he's apparently run, I say apparently, he has run a sub 14-minute 5,000 meters, so not on the road, but and he kind of retired a few years ago, like right when the pandemic hit, but he started running again. And so he said he was going for sub 15, and I was like, whoa, I get finally an opportunity to race this guy. And then he says on the day of that he's feeling kind of sick, but he's still going to take like the first mile out hard and then see where it is. And he ended up DNFing after like the first mile, so I guess sucks. I feel bad for him. It sucks. I don't think he was like super happy about his race, although I'm not 100% sure. Just the way way it happens sometimes. Get unlucky. Um, but once the gun went off, I just bolted. Got to the front. I was kind of already in the front. What is wrong with this GPS? Oh, maybe that's why. Oops. Oops. Okay, wait, let's reset this. Oh my gosh. So let's see. We started off pretty fast. But then once we hit this turn, we kind of gradually slowed down. Okay, wait, why? Okay, I need to do this on Garmin. Hold on. Let me pull this up. This is probably just going to be better to do it on Garmin. View details. Let's go by lap. Wait, how do I do this? Oh, wait, I don't think I can. Oh, well. Anyways, started off the first K. Oh, maybe it wasn't long, because this is like really messing up the... Okay, I thought this course was long, but maybe it's not long. Who knows? Anyways, let's just go into the laps. The first lap was 3:11. When I checked my watch on this like first straight, I was seeing like 2:55, but then there is a hill like over here, which kind of sucks. As you can see, there's a bit of elevation. And I was feeling good. Second K, it's mostly downhill, which is why you see 3:02. And then this third K is just like straight. But basically on the downhill, like basically right after a mile, right when we started going on the downhill, I lost I lost the group. There was like a few people in front of me, probably like 7 or so in front of me. I just couldn't stay with them. I just couldn't move. I couldn't run. Like my legs just were not feeling it. I couldn't run any faster. And yeah, I just stayed in no man's land pretty much like the whole race. Pretty much all of the race since after the first miles, I was alone. There was one moment in the last K where I caught up to somebody, but then like I just went past him, and he didn't like contest me whatsoever. And so even for like the finish line, I was just by myself, suffering, not really able to move any faster. The conditions were good, I guess. It was raining just a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, my official time was 16:21. My unofficial time, if I go by Strava, was 15:54, but we're just gonna go by the official time. I thought this was really garbage run. Now, what can we learn from this? I mean, this is what like this channel is all about. This is what this whole like experience is about. It's about learning from our mistakes, or not just mistakes, but just like learning in general. So, one thing that I can learn from this, and this is I kind of already knew this beforehand, but you know, you need to do VO2 max work if you want to run VO2 max races. I think last year I got away with doing the half marathon and the 10K, especially because I was coming off like a 3K track season, but also because those are just longer distances, and so it's a lot easier to only do threshold and then have these races. Here I'm doing only threshold and then trying to race a 5K, and so I just don't think I was running fast enough to be able to be competitive in this race. I bumped my mileage up to 130 this week. Plus, I had a lot of mileage in terms of threshold. I probably did about 14K of threshold per day for my workouts, so like 28K for the week, which was threshold, which is a decent chunk. And so I think what I learned was that, and I sort of already knew this going in, but you need to do 5K work to do well in the 5K. So I'm not too bummed about it, but I really thought I would do a lot better than this, and that's why I'm like upset, because I really thought like I'd be running like a 1550 at least, like, and running 1621, it almost feels like I can do that like in practice by myself, but and a big part of me just wants to go out and run a 5K and just run a 1621, but I'm not going to do that. But I think yeah, my hamstrings were just feeling kind of weak. They're still feeling kind of weak, but I don't think there's much else to say about this week in this race. The last thing I guess I'll say is that I do need to figure out how I'm going to do the taper week, because this was like me sort of experimenting with like taper week, but I think I probably need 2 taper weeks. So I'm still going to have to try to play with that, but I mean, now we're into the next season. We're not really. We're training for the 10K sort of. I mean, we're doing the exact same training. Let's be honest here, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one. All right, peace.